Well, my computer is broken. Guess we're gonna have to fix it. You know, might as well upgrade it while we're in there too. So I am going to have to put these on before I can test this thing so that I can take it all back apart and put back on this heatsink. Yay, testing. So it's absolutely the pump. We are going to go ahead and shut this off. I don't think I can put that in my case. I would never be able to unsee the fact that it's not the same color. I have cuts and slices of my skin missing everywhere. This computer messed me up. Oh yeah, I'm back, baby. So about 2 weeks ago, I was doing a live stream on this system, and I went to go open up Modern Warfare 2 and immediately knew something was wrong. The quality of the gameplay was absolutely terrible. Frames were skipping. It was just not good. So I opened up Task Manager and everything was in red. So I immediately turned off the system and just let it sit for a little while. Didn't touch it. Came back. I was hopeful that maybe shutting off the system and then turning everything back on was going to help fix the issue. That was absolutely not the case. Now, the CPU was sitting at around 65, 70 degrees Celsius on idle, and that is absolutely way too high if we're not doing anything with the system, especially, you know, being liquid cooled by an AIO. So my first initial response is to think that there was a pump failure. Now, when I went to go ahead, while the system was on, I removed the CPU pump fan header and then plugged it back in, and you can hear the pump kick back on. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that the pump isn't burnt out. It could absolutely not be performing the way it needs to. The other issues that it could be is the motherboard could have an issue, which that's very rare, but it is possible since I wasn't getting any blue screens of death. I wasn't getting any shutdowns. The computer wasn't turning itself off, and that's typically what you find if there's a motherboard issue. There could be a problem with the amount of power that maybe is going to the system. So the power supply might be, dying on this system. 850 watts is plenty enough to run the system that I have, but maybe that's an issue. Now we are going to have to remove the AIO from this system so that I can throw it into another computer just to see if it's broken or if maybe there's another issue with the computer. Now, if it's just the AIO, we're gonna be okay because I did buy a brand new one from Deep Cool. This one will look really good in the system. But I figure while we're in the middle of doing all this, I wanted to do an overhaul of my system and change the look of my office a little bit. My computer usually sits on the right side of my desk, and I want to move it over to the left so that I can shift my monitors over to the right side of the desk. So just kind of give me a little change up. And if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need to flip this case. Now, my system is inverted, so my motherboard is upside down, and I also have a vertical mount GPU bracket. So if you are ever thinking about getting a vertical GPU mount bracket, do not do that, because if you see in the corner here, there is this little cable in the back. That's my DisplayPort adapter. It has to run from inside of the case all the way to the back and out before you can attach it to your monitor. So I had to buy a 10-foot DisplayPort cable, which just don't do this. So instead of doing this, we are going to switch it. I bought a vertical mount bracket, so we are going to go with the vertical mount instead of the horizontal, and we will be putting that into the system. And that will also make it so that I can use my other Lee & Lee stripper. Now, strimmer cable rather, because if you look, you cannot get a strimmer cable in a vertical mount bracket in this case, just because there's absolutely no room, and this would need to bend in an unbelievable way. So we just never did that. So it's just been sitting here waiting to get used, and we're gonna go ahead, and since we're doing the vertical, we are going to put that in the system, so it's just a little bit more RGB, make the system look good. So one other thing is that because we are getting rid of the vertical mount, there will not be anything in this space, and I don't want a case that just has a whole bunch of empty space. So we are going to put in 3 more Lee & Lee Uni fans in here to match the other 6 that I have in this. Or wait, no, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 with the AIO. But we are going to put these fans on the new AIO so that the AIO matches the rest of the case. But we are gonna have to go ahead and get this one out so that we can test this AIO to make sure that that's the only problem that this system has. So we got our AIO out of the system. We are gonna go ahead and we're going to put it in the computer that we built last week, our $500 PC, and we're just gonna do that to test it. We'll go ahead, we'll turn it on, we'll run Prime 95 to see if this CPU cooler is actually functional or if there is a different issue with this computer. I'm gonna need you to stick around in this video because there's a possibility that I might need some help in the comments section on what to try to fix it if this CPU cooler isn't working. But let's go ahead and let's put it in our other computer and give it a test. So I completely forgot that in order to test this AIO, I am going to have to put the stock AMD brackets back in because these aftermarket brackets to hold on just a basic heatsink, it's not gonna cut it. I need the original stock AMD AM4 brackets. They look like these. So I am going to have to put these on before I can test this thing so that I can take it all back apart and put back on this heatsink. Yay, testing. So it's absolutely the pump. We are going to go ahead and shut this off. Now, we're gonna stop running Prime 95, like ASAP. It just spiked up to 88 degrees. Oh goodness. All right, Prime 95 is done. Cool down, cool down. Okay, so I turned it on. CPU temp was about 50, which is not okay, sitting at idle. And it was fine because it started dropping slowly and it went down to 40, and that's decent. But once I started Prime 95, it hit 68, which still isn't terrible, but then it just jumped up to 90. So there absolutely is something wrong with the AIO. It is not anything else in the system, thank God, because I really did not want to go ahead and replace anything else. Now it did hit 90 at one point, so we are going to go ahead, remove this. We will reinstall the previous cooler into the $500 system. By the way, if you haven't seen us build this system for $500, all brand new parts, I'll put a card up above. If you feel like watching that a little later, circle back, give it a look. It's pretty nice, and it's a pretty good computer. So my system is 100% taken apart. I am gonna go ahead and use my little air duster to kind of get a top layer of dust. You know, there isn't much on here, but I'd rather, if it's all out, I might as well deep clean it a little bit. But I'm afraid that I'm not gonna remember how to flip this case back over so that everything is right side up. But I'm sure once I get into it, it'll be a little easier than it seems. One thing that I don't know if we're gonna reuse is these LED strips. I had 3 of them and I had them behind my graphics card here. And the reason I had it behind there is because this is not an RGB graphics card and it was a little dark in the corner. So I just put these 3 LED strips in the back and I set them to, you know, just white LED just to kind of illuminate back there so it wasn't so dark in that one section of the case. But I really don't think that I'm gonna need this since I did get, you know, 3 more Unifans to put in here. I really don't think I'm gonna need these LED strips, so I might save them for later builds if I wanna try to do something fun and fancy. I'm pretty sure that you can just like unscrew these bottom pieces and it slides, look at that. It's like I've done this before. Yeah, so that's the bottom, and you're supposed to be able to take this top piece off, I think. Oh, geez. I'll never find that again. Oh my gosh. This is why you guys need to subscribe, so that maybe one day I can get like an office that's not carpeted, so when I drop something, I don't lose it. So please subscribe, help me out. There we go. HD audio, baby. Yes? Is this right? I don't even know. Have I done this right? I feel like I did this wrong. No, that's right. Holy cannolis. So many screws. So the case is back to the way that it was designed to be, actually. We are going to go ahead now and dust everything off, and as we're dusting it off, we're gonna put it back together. So stick with us. So I actually just made a mistake. I put the motherboard into the case without checking to see if there was a special bracket that this CPU needs in order to mount the cooler. So I just assumed that it was going to be the same as the Lee & Lee. Now I'm not sure that it's not, but we have to find out before we proceed any further, because I might have to take the motherboard back off so that I can attach whatever mounting bracket they put inside these deep cool units. And I've never used a deep cool AIO, so this will be a first for me. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little irritated that I wasn't paying attention and I mounted the motherboard. And that started the source of my frustrations. But what's really kicking it off for me is that our new CPU cooler in our beautiful white case with all white fans and white everything, it's not white. It's listed as white, but this thing is not white. This is cream. This is like a creamy, dark eggshell white. And in comparison to my case and all my fans, it doesn't match at all. And I don't think I'll be able to unsee it. And I waited 9 days for this to show up, and I'm a little irritated because if you look at the hose on the CPU, that's white. What color they painted the actual unit is not white. And I'm really tempted to take it downstairs and spray paint it. So I can't stop dwelling on the fact that that is a different color than the rest of my entire case. I'm gonna go to bed, and we're gonna pick this back up tomorrow when I've rested and cooled off, because I'm pretty irritated. So we are back with day 2 of this project. Now, I wanted to go to bed last night because I was pretty upset that this was such a disappointment to me. I don't like to make decisions when I'm upset. Now, I wanted to go to sleep because I wanted to wake up with a new mindset. Maybe I would make a different decision or see that I might like it a little bit more, and that didn't happen. I could take it outside and spray paint it white, but I don't really want to spray paint a brand new item white when it was supposed to already be white. And plus, that's a lot of masking, and I'm not interested in doing any of that. So we are going to send this back. I cannot put this in my system, but luckily Corsair has 1-day shipping, and I went ahead and got the AIO that I probably should have just got from the beginning. See, there we go. See, this is the color white that I was looking for. It matches my system perfectly. Exact same color. That's what we're talking about. This one's gonna be perfect. here she is, ladies and gentlemen, new and improved and looking real pretty, if I do say so myself. I love this vertical GPU. It helps take up a lot of the space, like fills it up, makes it feel like it's full. And then plus, with going with 6 fans on the radiator, it pushed the radiator down, making it a little bit more compact, so it feels like it's just full instead of being, you know, wide open with the horizontal GPU and the motherboard, and then there was just nothing in the center. This looks way better to me. Plus, now I'm able to use my GPU strimmer, and I'm really excited to see how it looks with both of them. Now, I do have them like in a wonky shape here. It's because I had to twist them because the pin, you know, to lock it into the GPU was the wrong direction. So I had to like twist it. So to hide that, I put this in front of it. Now, who knows? It might look bad. It might look great. Now, I didn't put any of the paneling back on the system because there are 13 fans in here, not including the GPU. So there's a chance that I missed some plug or some RGB, something. I might have missed it. So we're gonna keep it off for now while we try to turn it on and see if it does power. Now, I don't have my monitor hooked up to it. We are just going to see if it powers on. I will go ahead, hook up the monitor in a little bit, and I'll make sure that all the RGB is the colors that I want, because it's probably just gonna be a rainbow when this thing turns on. And I don't want a rainbow. We're going for a all white build, all white RGB. So this is going to be really, really cool to see. So let me get my power cable. Got this one. There it is. And we're gonna get into this. I'm pumped up. I hope you're pumped up. This is probably my favorite video I've done so far because it's my computer, and I can't wait to redo my whole desk area. My wife is gonna join us for that video. She's not gonna be on camera because she doesn't want to be on camera for some reason. She's a beautiful woman. I don't know why she wouldn't want to be on camera, but it is what it is. She's just gonna film me, and we're just gonna have some witty banter as we dominate my room. But let's go ahead and push the power button and let's see what happens. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. That's really pretty. I love it. I love it. Oh, I'll see you in a second after I customize this thing, and we'll do one of those really cool montages. Oh yeah, I'm back, baby.
Let's get it. Popping bottles nightly, yeah, we're dancing slightly. This bass has got me feisty, feisty, feisty. Whoa, popping bottles nightly, yeah, we're dancing slightly. This bass has got me feisty, feisty, feisty. Let's get it. Whoa. Let's get it. Whoa.
So my computer is definitely performing extremely well. I went ahead and played Modern Warfare. I set it to extreme, as high as Modern Warfare 2 would go, and we were seeing 190 FPS at 1440p. Now, that is fantastic, and the best news, it didn't even break 50 degrees Celsius the entire time. So this CPU cooler is doing a fantastic job. Now, for the placement, the computer is not going to be here anymore. I just put it back up here because all of my USB cables and everything are fastened to this side. I will be redoing my whole office setup. So I will be moving my computer to the left side, and I'm gonna be shifting my monitors to the right a little bit. I think I'm gonna put my smaller monitor in the corner, and then my larger monitor will be underneath TV. I'm gonna move the TV over to the left a little bit and some floating shelves up. We're gonna get rid of this ugly lamp, and then we got some of those little hexagon tiles to put on the wall and stuff like that, like some sound dampening things. Just some stuff that we found. And I'm gonna do that video next week. It might be a one-part series, it might be a two-part series. I don't know yet. We haven't ordered anything to come in, but this is a perfect opportunity. In the comment section down below, please go ahead and list anything that you think that I should put in my office, and I'll take it into consideration. And then if you want to have something showcased in my office area, I do have my PO box listed in my profile, and we could definitely make something like that happen. I think that would be pretty cool. But that is going to wrap it up. Make sure that you are joined to win our giveaway computer. I'll put the card up above so that way you have a chance to win the computer that I've been using for the past 2 weeks while my system was down. That is a fantastic computer, and I had a ton of fun playing some games on it. We did a stream on it. Everything looked fantastic. The computer was performing beautifully. So definitely make sure you check out that video. And if you're not part of my Discord, there is a link down below. Please join the Discord because we have a very large community now, and they are wonderful people, and we have a great time in there. And I'd love to see you involved, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you know when all my new videos come out. But love you guys. No matter where you are in the world, I hope that you are having a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.